country waited on pins and needles, waiting for the monumental opinion of the Supreme Court on the Affordable Care Act that was signed into law in 2010. One of the key issues, of course, was the right of the government to force Americans to have health care. The decision is very convoluted, and frankly, there is many opinions about what it really means, as there are people talking about it. We've heard bits and pieces of the multi-decision ruling, including the 9-0 finding, 9-0, that the law was unconstitutional under the Commerce Clause. But the court also ruled 5-4, under the authority of the Constitution, they can make it tied to taxes. So, of course, a lot of hay is being made by the fact that the president said this isn't a tax at all. Ben Homeyer joins us this morning to kind of dissect the decision a little bit. Let's start first with the Commerce Clause, the 9-0 ruling of the Commerce Clause. What exactly does that mean?
Well, the Commerce Clause is what allows the federal government to regulate certain things inside the state. It's an original part of the Constitution. Now, thankfully, in this case, they said that the government overstepped their bounds. And the Commerce Clause is a living thing, and different members of the court have said different things about it. Justice Rehnquist made it much more restrictive when he was Chief Justice of the court, and thankfully the court decided yesterday that was the case. But as you said, this is a tax, and the court and said that they cannot. They put the lipstick on the pig here.
Okay, fair enough. We know with the 5-4 ruling, John Roberts, the Chief Justice, really kind of was that balance in a sway that said that it is okay to enforce that under a tax. Well, how does that mean? Because we're told that there is no new tax. It is not a tax.
Well, obviously, while we respect what the court says at all times, we feel that the president at this point was untruthful. One of the main things that he said is, if you make less than $250,000 a year, you will see no new taxes during his presidency.
Right.
And while they tried to hide this as another name, the court came back and said, no, this is truly what it is.
What's that impact going to be then, Ben? On small business, on the poor, because ultimately this is supposed to help the poor, people who don't have health insurance, students and whatnot. What is the net impact going to be? I mean, is it going to be positive, negative?
Well, this is going to be a totally negative thing on the business community, on small business in particular.
Why is that?
If you have 49 employees, you're never going to hire a 50th employee because you're going to start paying penalty. If you have 61 employees, you're going to fire 12 employees to get down below 50. I mean, there are such harsh penalties that can get put upon you. If you have one employee that qualifies for federal health insurance, they would qualify, say, under Medicaid. There are a certain percentage underneath the federal poverty limit, so they would qualify. If you don't offer health insurance at that point, then you're going to be paying a huge penalty on all your other employees.
Now, you're paying a penalty on the tax, or you get a tax break? How does that work?
Well,
what's the difference? Are you paying extra money out of pocket, or are you just not getting that tax break?
Well, they claim that there's